Hello, this is Dr. Rick Hoefer. I'm here with another video, Frequently Asked Question. The purpose of this particular video is to answer the question, what should be in the diversity section of the integrative paper? Well, as you can read in the syllabus, this is there's like a whole laundry list. And the purpose of this list of ways that people can be different from each other is for you to focus in on how your client is different than other people who you might see. Okay, so what are some of the categories of difference? Because, it's a long list, and the reason it is long is because people can actually be really different in many ways, and this diversity has an impact on how you treat them. Okay, and so this is true not just at the individual level, although of course frequently that's where we start, but also communities can be different along certain strata. Organizations can be different in their culture. So this isn't just about individual diversity, it's also about diversity at a macro level. But what are some of these particular things that we can look at here in the diversity section? We've got age, okay? Go back to your human behavior class, and there's a whole lot of theories that talk about what happens at different ages. Sex or gender. Clearly, men and women have differences between them, and not just biological, although that's important, but also acculturation and other behavior patterns. Perhaps they pick up through social learning. Social class is an important consideration. We have what are called, lower class behaviors and refined behaviors of the upper class. So class affects behavior, and it affects how you can interact with your clients. Remember, most social work clients tend to be a lower income, and most social workers tend to be middle class. So this tends to set up some dynamics there. So how are you going to take that into account? We have other categories such as disability. Obviously, someone who is in a wheelchair or has another mobility disability is going to need certain accommodations, probably. There are other kinds of disabilities, such as intellectual and developmental disabilities, that have impact on clients and how you work with them. Ethnicity is another kind of category, which you've probably covered in the race and ethnicity class very well, so you can refer back to that. Family structure is yet another kind of difference. Single parent families, dual parent families, extended generations under one roof, multiple families in one apartment or something like that. These are things that affect how you impact the client and how the client addresses you. Marital status, we said, national origin. There's still a lot of immigrants coming to the United States, and even patterns of behavior passed down from former generations. For example, we might think of a German being very efficient and blunt, and an Italian being very, romantic and expressive, things like that. And even though the family may have been in the United States for many years, many generations, some of that still gets passed down. Obviously, religion is an important factor of diversity, as well as sexual orientation. All right, so that's all at the micro level. So how do those apply perhaps at an organizational or community level? Certainly, social class is an important factor at a community level or a neighborhood level. Even at an organizational level, you have some organizations that have relatively a lot of money, and other organizations that are very grassroots and have very little money. Another issue about diversity could be the color or the racial background, the ethnicity. If you work with a Mexican-American organization, for example, it's going to be very important that you understand Spanish. It's going to be very important that you understand the ways that a Mexican culture is shaping that particular organization. And again, I'm sure you've heard this, but you can't lump everyone from South America and Central America together, just because they're all, Hispanic. So this is another area where you've got to be careful, even in your organizational or your community approach. So look for diversity in all these different areas as you're writing this particular section of the paper. Now, as you're doing this, of course, you're looking for evidence. Right? This is one thing that is frequently missing from this particular section, as well as others. But people sort of just come at this and with their own ideas and their own prejudices even. So be sure to have some empirical evidence to support what you say about a particular group, a particular individual, or a particular community in order to back up what you say. Okay, and use many sources. One of the things that I find students frequently do is they go to one textbook and they say, well, this is the way it is, and then that's the only source in that one section. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to draw from many sources. The other problem with textbooks is that they frequently don't give you the empirical evidence behind their statements. They just lay it out and they say, well, this is the way it is. Okay, so also, before you close out this section, you should have a quick discussion about the strengths and limitations of the knowledge base. For example, if you're working with a Mexican-American organization and you find that there's not really much in the literature that says, what are the unique and different ways that Mexican-American organizations tend to operate, well, this would be a good place to point out that there's not very much information. Okay. All right, so this video has been to answer the question, what should go into the diversity section? And it's true whether you're at an individual DP level or more of a macro level, that all of these diversity factors have an impact on your practice and how you're going to be able to make changes in the client situation. All right, I hope this helps, and I look forward to reading your papers, and I continue to want to be working with you to make sure that you all graduate. All right, so keep those cards and letters and discussion items coming in, and we will see you in the next video.